So I was talking to some people and they said, you have to share this story with the What in the HVL crowd. We were down in Florida for our spring training with Stewartville softball. And I thought, you know what? I've been sitting on a plane for a long time, eating a lot of snacks and probably some bad food, haven't been exercising. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run on the beach. I need to get some steps in. I need to run on the beach. I don't know if you've ever been on the beach there down in Florida in Cocoa Beach, but there are a bunch of people along the shoreline that have like these really long fishing poles, and then they have like these holders that sit about waist high, belly high, and they cast their line way out into the surf, and then they let the line go, right? And then they put their pole in the holder in the sand, and they sit there and watch to see if anything, I guess, snags the line. I'm not a fisherman or by any means. So I'm out there and I'm like, well, I'd like to run down the beach. Is this going to be safe for me? So first mistake I made was going barefoot. You might as well have taken sandpaper and just rubbed the skin off the bottom of my toes. What an idiot I was. But anyway, I was like, no, I think we're okay, because as I approached the first pull, between the holder being about 3 or 4 feet off the ground and then the fishing pole being like 7 feet, plenty of room to get under the line. There were other people walking back and forth. So anyway, I run down the beach about 2 miles, no problems, fishing poles, people, sand castles, everything, just running down, waves crashing into me. I get 2 miles down, gonna turn around and come back. I'm about halfway back, and I'm running, and luckily I wasn't running fast enough. And all of a sudden, get clothesline! I look at the guy and I say, what in the HVL? Got clotheslined by a fishing line, all the slack got taken out, darn near took my head off. I don't think he knew what in the HVL stood for, but you're going to find out here on episode 3.
Beneath his stormy surface flowed the warm tide of compassion and kindness.
What the
HVL!
going on out here?
Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground.
Hey, what's up, softball fans, and welcome into What in the HVL, the softball edition. This is episode 3, where we are going to break down the week 2 games for all the teams in the HVL conference. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in, that's been following along the first 2 episodes. Big hitter. We went over the 500 view mark in episode number 1. Last week, I think we eclipsed over 200. Hopefully, we can keep climbing, get those views out, shine a spotlight on the amazing ladies that we have here in the softball world, that is the Hiawatha Valley League Conference. A lot of games this week. I should probably get right to it, because if I don't, you are going to be here forever. Let's start out right away. Monday, April 8th. Get that off the thing. Zumbrota-Mazeppa taking on Cannon Falls. They're going to play 2 games. Let's play 2. The weather's so nice, not 1, but 2. Zumbrota-Mazeppa, Cannon Falls, then Goodhue at Byron, Stewartville at Austin. Needed to play in the dome as it was raining. Anyway, let's go game 1. Zumbrota-Mazeppa at Cannon Falls. Zumbrota-Mazeppa had a huge third inning with 3 hits, a walk, and an error. That put 5 runs on the board. Cannon Falls then answered back in the bottom of the inning with a single by Meng. Back-to-back errors by the Cougars loaded the bases. Matty Burr drove 1 run in. Pagel scored on a pass ball. That made it 5-2, but Zumbrota-Mazeppa held the lead the rest of the way and would win this one 7-3. As you see, 5 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the seventh. That gave them 7 runs on 10 hits with 2 errors. Cannon Falls got 2 in the third, but just couldn't string it together. Got 1 in the seventh for 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Zumbrota-Mazeppa. Melanie Rash, 2 for 4 with a run scored. Megan Jasperson, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a run scored. Braylee Peterson, 1 for 3, a double, 2 RBIs. Paisley Peterson, 2 for 4 with a double, a run scored. Trinity Chappa, who's had a hot start to this season, 2 for 4, double, and 2 RBIs, as well as a run scored. Cameron Kovars pitched for Zumbrota-Mazeppa, got the win. A complete game, 6-hitter, 3 runs scored. Only 1 of those was earned, 2 walks, 10 double-digit strikeouts for Kovars. Then you look at Cannon Falls, at least for game 1. Maya Meng, 1 for 3 with a run scored. Maddie Burr, 1 for 3. Emma Templin, 2 for 4. Allie Pagel, 7 innings pitched, 10 hits, 7 runs 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, but just as well on in the batter's box, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Then we move on to game 2. In the second game of the doubleheader, Cannon Falls would actually out-hit the Cougars 9-6, but Zumbrota-Mazeppa scored 4 runs in the second, 3 in the third, and 2 in the fourth as out of those 9 runs, only 2 were earned as the Bombers committed 4 errors. You'll see it here in the box score. 5 runs for Cannon Falls, 1 in the second, 4 in the third as they made it a game. They actually took a 5-4 lead, but then Zumbrota-Mazeppa answered back with 3 in the third. That would make it 7-5, and then they just continue to extend their lead. 9-5 was the final score. Because it's doubleheader, looks like they only played 5 innings. 5 runs on 9 hits and 4 errors for Cannon Falls. Zumbrota-Mazeppa 9 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. Emma Templin for Cannon Falls was the pitcher. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits. Only 2 of those earned runs, 2 strikeouts. She was 1 for 3 as a batter. Run scored and an RBI. Allie Pagel 2 for 3 with a double, a run and an RBI. Maddie Burr similar stat line, 2 for 2 with a double, run scored, RBI. And then Chloe Soquist, Josie Soquist, and Claire Myers each had 1 hit. Maya Meng, you see there, had a hit. It was a double. In terms of Zumbrota-Mazeppa, Megan Jasperson, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Braylee Peterson, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And Trinity Chappa continues that hot start, 1 for 3 with a... Next up, Goodhue traveled to Byron to take on the Bears. Both teams looking for their first victory. Byron got out to a fast start with 2 runs in the first and 6 runs in the second. Never looked back. 3 different girls racked up 3 RBIs each, and Tally Barron scored 3 times to lead Byron to an 11-1 win in 5 innings. Let's see the box score here. Goodhue scored 1 run on 1 hit, had 2 errors. Byron 2 runs in the first, 6 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third, and then got that 10-run victory in the 5th as they would win it. 11 runs for the Bears, 12 hits, 2 errors. Mackenzie Steele, one of our favorite players here, huh? Right here representing. She got the win on the mound. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 6 strikeouts. She was 2 for 4 with a double, 3 RBIs, a run scored, and a stolen base. Kayleen Irwin, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 doubles. Macy Behringer, 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Cadence Furstead, 2 for 3 with a run scored. Tally Barons was 1 for 1. 3 runs scored, 3 stolen bases. Hattie Mathery was 1 for 2 with an RBI and a double. In terms of Goodhue, kind of neat here. I believe Lola Christensen the one with the hit. We'll find out here in a little bit. Kind of a cool storyline. I see this is the first time that Morgan and Kendra Rader sister combo. Pitcher catcher, how cool is that for Goodhue, the Wildcats? Kind of a neat storyline coming out of Goodhue. I know that this is kind of near and dear to my heart, as my 2 older brothers were pitcher catcher, and they actually ran a story in the local newspaper that said blood is thicker than leather, and maybe that's the case for Morgan and Kendra. I know when they had pitcher-catcher mound visits, there were probably some things that were said between my 2 brothers that they didn't want the coaches out there for. Who knows if the sisters have that kind of relationship as well, but either way, really cool. Also see Kendra, looks like she's catching some air here. Catching, like you can definitely fit like a 2x4 underneath those shoes. I don't know, she's hopping up. She's excited to catch Morgan, so pretty cool storyline. Stay tuned for that the rest of the season. The next person that we have here, Mia Roshan, I believe that she was the one person that scored the run for Goodhue. And then something I wanted to highlight here, you see it here, Emma Voth, Hattie Mathery, Cadence Furstead, even after a game like this, everybody's smiling, good sportsmanship, and that's what we want to highlight. Some amazing people, not just the players on the field, but good sportsmanship being shown by both sides. So love this picture. Appreciate Goodhue sending this my way. Next up is the Stewartville Tigers taking on the Austin Packers, the 3rd and final game from Monday. Stewartville got to play in the Dome. Kind of a nice little luxury there in Austin. Byron got to play there last week. Even with it being rainy, we got to play there this week. We took on the Packers. Stewartville jumped on Austin right away with 2 runs in the first behind 3 straight singles by Haley Loris, Kaylee Learman, and Sydney Clark. Plenty of runs in the 3rd by both teams. Stewartville scored 1 to make it 3-0, but then Austin answered back with 2 home runs in the bottom of the 3rd to make it 5-3 Packers. The Tigers would then score 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th to take an 8-5 lead. Austin wasn't done though. They made it a 1-run game with 2 on and only 1 out. We started to get nervous here watching this game, but Sydney Clark struck out the next batter and then finished it off with a ground ball to second base, Brielle Johnson, to end the game. 8-7 Stewartville in a nail biter as they start the season off 2-0. We'll get to the box score here. Stewartville, 8 runs on 13 hits, 3 errors. Austin, 7 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. You can see the stats for Austin. They're not in the HVL, so we're just going to move along because we support the HVL teams here and talk about those players. So we'll move on to our girl, Savannah Dean. I got to imagine that her college that she's going to, what is it, Jamestown? That is, the basketball coach is probably hearing from the softball coach, if they have a team that says, hey, what are the chances Savannah could play for us too? She has been phenomenal here to start the season. 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. I believe she has a perfect 1,000 batting average. I believe she started out the season 6 for 6 or 7 for 7. Don't quote me on that, but incredible start as Savannah Dean has carried over that success she has on the basketball court onto the softball field. Great first baseman for us there in the senior Hadeen. Sydney Clark, 3 for 3 at the plate, an RBI, run scored. I believe she reached base all 5 times she was up. I think she drew 2 walks as well. Her on-base percentage just going through the roof. 4 innings pitched. She came on after that rough 3rd inning to kind of hold the line. She held Austin there. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Then next up, Kaylee Learman. She was 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs, a run scored. She had a huge hit to the fence in the 7th inning that scored a run. We needed it. Every run counted as it was an 8-7 final. That RBI by Learman in the 7th inning turns out to be essentially the winning run. Fantastic job behind the plate for Kaylee as well. And then you got Kayla Byrne continuing. She was named with Player of the Week last week. Well, starting out hot this week. 2 for 5 with an RBI, a run scored, and a double. Next up, Tuesday, April 9th. Lourdes taking on Byron. Pine Island taking on Goodhue. Lake City against the Kasson-Mantorville Comets. We'll run it down here. The first game that we'll start with is a new little segment. What in the HVL? Game of the week, baby. This is incredible. I wish I could have been at this game when I saw the recap. Incredible it sounded like if you were there. It was Rochester Lourdes at the Byron Bears. Brand new field there. Looks like beautiful facilities based on the pictures in the video. It was a scoreless first for both teams. Lourdes struck first in the top of the second. It started with Grace Boyson being hit by a pitch. She took first base. Then back-to-back errors on grounders by Reagan Rowley and Amelie Dolman loaded the basin. Boyson would score on a pass ball with 1 out. Taylor Sealhammer would single to the left side, scoring Rowley, moving Dolman to third. Kate Fredericks would reach on a bunt single. Dolman would be coming home. Big time call there by Coach Mack, and I don't know if it was like a safety squeeze, suicide squeeze. I don't know. Either way, that put Lourdes up 3-0 after 2 innings. In the bottom of the 3rd, Byron would get the bats going. My girl, Cadence Firstad would lead the inning off with a double, move to 3rd on an errant throw. She would score on a pass ball just a few pitches later. Then Ella Brennan would reach on a hit to the left side, move around to 3rd on a wild pitch. Macy Behringer would hit a fly ball to center field that gets dropped. Brennan scores. Kaylee Irwin then steps up and drives a single to center field. Behringer moves to 3rd. Mackenzie Steele singles up the middle, scoring Behringer, and it would be all tied up after 3 innings. Byron would score in every inning from the 3rd on out while holding Lourdes scoreless. In the 4th, there she is again. Crew's favorite bear, if you will. It's not named Teddy. No, it's Cadence Firstad. Hits a triple with 2 outs and would score later on a pass ball. In the bottom of the 5th, the other half of that dangerous duo freshman, Max Steele. I gotta tell you about this one. I think we actually have video. Bottom of the 5th, Max Steele steps up. Nobody on. Let's show you what happens here. I actually asked Max Steele one time, hey, Mac, you got 2 younger brothers here. What's your favorite board game to play with the 2 boys? What's your favorite board game to play with them? What do you like to compete at? And you know what she told me? Yahtzee! Oh! Max Steele solo shot to center field. Touch them all, girl. What a bomb by Max Steele, the greatest name in the HVL, one of the best players too. Awesome. Awesome. Yahtzee, baby. Let's move on, even though I could watch it twice. Let's get to the rest of the game. So then what would happen? All right, so that was the 1 run. Solo home run would extend the lead 5-3 Byron after 5 innings. In the bottom of the 6th, Leah Strain would single and move to 2nd on a pass ball. Strain would score on a line drive by who else? A Firstad. Cadence wheeled all the way around to 3rd. Incredible line drive. I believe it was to the left side. Firstad would then score on a pass ball. It seems like a broken record, but she continues to find home plate, making it 7-3 Byron after 6. And it seemed like Byron had this one in hand going into the final inning. But you don't win what in the HVL game of the week just ending like that. Lourdes, Are you kidding me? The Eagles put an incredible comeback up in the top of the 7th. Back-to-back singles by Fredericks and Restovich lead off the inning. Anna Weineke would walk, loading the bases with nobody out. Fredericks would score on a pass ball. Leah Weineke then steps up, drills one to center field. Restovich coming around scores. Around comes little sis Anna, and all of a sudden, it's a one-run game with nobody out. Grace Boyson singles on a line drive. Leah Weineke moves to third base. I don't know if it was a first and third deal or what happened, if people were stealing, but the scoring has Weineke stealing home to tie the game up at 7. Boyson moved to second on that same play, then moves over to third on a ground out by Rowley, just 1 out. Amelie Dolman grounds out to the pitcher, and Boyson scores, giving Lourdes, are you kidding me, the lead. They scored 5 runs in the top of the 7th. It's now 8-7 Lourdes going into the bottom of the 7th inning. With 1 out, the girl with the greatest name in the HVL. I said it once, I've said it a million times. She's also one of the best players, and she's just a freshman. Max Steele steps up and with 1 swing of the bat, ties this game up with her 2nd home run of the game. A solo shot to center field, and we are going to extra innings. Max Steele had come on in relief on the mound. She induced 2 groundouts and a strikeout to go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th. Well, who else? The other half of that dynamic duo of freshmen. Cadence Firstad stayed hot with her bat. A single to the right side. She would steal second base. Lourdes would intentionally walk Tally Barons, thus putting girls on first and second with no outs. Brennan grounded into a fielder's choice. Restovich at short, cut down Firstad at third for the first out. So you still have girls on first and second. Leah Bendix comes in as a pinch hitter. Great call here by Coach Jake. Coach Jake puts Leah Bendix in. She steps on one all the way to the fence. I heard she missed it by like 3 or 4 feet from putting it over. Walks it off with an RBI double, and Byron would end up winning it 9-8 in thrilling fashion. 9-8, what a game. Let's get to the box score here. Lourdes, 8 runs, especially that big 7th inning. 8 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors. Byron, look at them. 3rd inning on, scored every single inning. They ended up with 9 runs on 14 hits, 4 errors. Byron, Max Steele, my girl, what a big day for Mac. She got the win on the mound too. How about that? 2 home runs and getting the win on the mound. I'll take it. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. She was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and those 2 home runs. Cadence Firstad was incredible. Reached base all 4 times, 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored, a double, a triple. I believe the other one was a hot one. Whether or not it was a triple or went off a glove, I wasn't at the game. I don't know, but I know she was hot. Brennan, 2 for 4 with a run scored. Tally Barron, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 12 strikeouts for the lefty. She was 1 for 3 at the plate with a run scored and a stolen base, 1 hit each for Irwin, Mathry, Clark Strain, and then the big one. It's all caps because it was the big one from Bendix, the double that walked it off. I believe Mathry also threw out a few base runners from her catching spot. For Lourdes, Amelie Dolman, 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Reagan Rowley had 3 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. Kate Fredericks was 2 for 4 with a run scored, an RBI. Grace Boyson, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And then Leah Weineke, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs and a run scored. What a game. Congratulations. The What in the HVL Game of the Week. Byron Lourdes. I don't know if you can top that. Next up, Pine Island at Goodhue. Pine Island went to Goodhue, and these pitchers battled each other. They combined for 21 total strikeouts. Jenna Schlusner for the Panthers had 10. Emma Voth for Goodhue had 11. It would actually be tied 2-2 after 3 innings, but Pine Island would score 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th to win this one 9-2. 9 runs on 10 hits and 1 error for the Panthers. Goodhue, 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. How about this? Emma Voth, 7 innings pitched, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, but 11 strikeouts, 11 of them. And we got a little video here. Little video might say, hey, Adam, what in the HVL are you showing this for? It looks like just a regular old strikeout. Well, it's not. Big congratulations to Emma Voth, 100 career strikeouts with that K right there. She is just a junior. She's going to add plenty more if she continues to pitch like this, so congratulations to her. Lola Christensen, 1 for 3 with a run scored and a stolen base. She's been fantastic behind the plate. The freshman has been sensational. We got to see her live when they played Stewartville, and I hear more of the same is happening. So Christensen, outstanding job following up a great basketball season for Goodhue, bringing that on the softball field a lot like Savannah Hadeen from Stewartville. In terms of Pine Island, Jenna Schlusner, I said, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 10 of them. 2 for 4 at the plate with a run scored, 2 stolen bases. Caitlin Laram got the night off on the mound, but she didn't take a night off at the plate. 2 for 4 with a double, 2 RBI. Sophia Polzer, 1 for 5 with a double, a run scored. Kylie Passau, 1 for 4, a double, RBI, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. Next up is the last game from Tuesday. It's Lake City at Kasson-Mantorville. Kasson-Mantorville came out on fire. 5 runs scored before the first out was ever recorded. They scored 10 runs in the bottom of the first inning. The Comets would score 2 in the second, 3 in the third, as this one was over after 4 innings. Kasson-Mantorville behind multi-hit games from Simons, Olsen, Farnsworth, and Dubois, and 3 RBI nights by Richards and Simons would take the 15-0 lead over the Tigers of Lake City. As you see, Tigers 0 runs on 2 hits, 5 errors. Kasson-Mantorville 15 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. Lake City, Allison Dykes came on in relief, pitched pretty well. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, only 1 earned run, 1 strikeout. She did get a walk at the plate. Stevie Jostok, one of those 2 hits for Lake City. She was 1 for 1 with the stolen base. Olivia Corey, 1 for 1. And then Lucy Sturr had a walk and stole a base as well. Photo credit here to the lady from Post Bulletin. In terms of Kasson-Mantorville, Abby Simons continues her hot start here. The first baseman for Kasson-Mantorville, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Emily Olsen has been fantastic on the mound. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 6 Ks, 2 for 3 at the plate, 2 runs scored, and RBI, a stolen base. Cara Farnsworth, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a double. She came on in relief in the 4th inning, did really well. 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Real good here. 2 for 2, 2 RBIs and a run scored for Aliana Dubois. I believe she's a senior, so great to see those seniors contributing along with Richards and Fitch. Speaking of Richards, I think she knows the camera's here. She's smiling at it, so I believe this isn't her first thing. Coach Mann turns his back. He doesn't want to be caught by it, but she was 1 for 2 on the day. 3 RBIs, a run scored, and a double. That rounds out the first half of the week. I'm going to get you the second half of the week in segment 2 of this. So stay tuned, and I will run down the games that happened Thursday, Friday, and if I can, even Saturday. So don't flip the channel. It's coming right back here on What in the HVL with Adam Peterson. Hey, thanks for staying with us. We are now into part 2 of episode 3 of What in the HVL, as we have plenty of more games to run down right now. Let's get right to it. On Thursday, April 11th, 4 games that we need to talk about. It's going to start off with Kasson-Mantorville against the number 2 state-ranked Winona Windhawks. KM, wow, they put up quite a battle. The defending Section 1 champion is Winona, and it was 2 outstanding pitchers going toe-to-toe for all 7 innings. Kreckhoff from Winona, Emily Olsen from Kasson-Mantorville combined to only allow 3 total hits the entire game. Only 2 runs scored, only 1 earned. Unfortunately for the Kasson-Mantorville fans, those 2 runs were scored by the Windhawks at the bottom of the first inning, and then it was scoreless the rest of the way. Final score you see here, 2-0 in favor of Winona. Kasson-Mantorville, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. Winona, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors for them. Emily Olsen, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. I think this is still, even though you look in the win-loss column, you see it come up as a loss. I think for Emily Olsen, this is a win. You go against one of the top teams in the state of Minnesota, and you do this, you hold them to 2 hits and 1 earned run. That's fantastic. Keeping your team in the game, that's what Coach Mann has to want out of his pitcher in Emily Olsen. So great job by her against a really tough team. Grace Mann with the lone hit for the Comets. She was 1 for 2, also had 2 stolen bases. You see Coach Tomey there probably laughing a little bit at the dab. Who knows? There's Coach Mann probably inciting a little bit of wisdom into Grace. Cool picture there as well. Great pictures coming from Kasson-Mantorville. Next up, St. Charles against Cannon Falls. St. Charles taking on the Bombers. St. Charles led 2-0 after 2 innings, but Cannon Falls scored 1 in the 3rd and 2 in the 5th to take a 3-2 lead going into the 6th inning. Both teams scored 3 in the 6th and then 1 in the 7th for Cannon Falls to hang on to that 1-run lead and ultimately a 7-6 victory. Maya Meng was magnificent. How about that for alliteration? She was 3 for 4 on and a single short. She was just a single short of hitting for the cycle. Double, triple, home run for Meng. Wow! Incredible. I know we don't have it, but in terms of St. Charles, Braylon Gust, Addison Overcamp, and Maya Omdahl played well for the Saints. Each of those girls collected 2 hits. For for Kasson-Mantorville, you heard me talk about Maya Meng, a single short of the cycle. There she was, 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored in an RBI. Allie Pagel, 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Chloe Soquist, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a double. Claire Myers, 2 for 3 with a run scored. Emma Templin and Josie Soquist each had a hit for the Bombers. Next up, Caledonia against Lourdes. This was a close game through 5 as Lourdes scored 1 in the bottom of the second and Caledonia with 1 in the top of the third, making it a tie game. But the Warriors exploded in the 6th and 7th innings, scoring 7 runs to take an 8-2 victory over the Eagles. Box score right here. Caledonia 8 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors. Lourdes 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. Some of the highlights here. Amelie Dolman, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits. Only 1 of those runs earned, 2 strikeouts for her. Avery Washniewski, I hope I'm saying that right, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Ali Restovich, 1 for 3, and then Grace Carney with an RBI. The next game we got to talk about, Pine Island against St. Anthony Village. Pine Island scored 3 runs in the first inning to get the lead. It was tied 5-5 after 4 innings and stayed that way until the Husky would score 1 in the bottom of the 7th, breaking Pine Island's heart. 6-5 in favor of St. Anthony Village. You see it here. I don't have all the stats, but 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the fourth for Pine Island, giving them 5. St. Anthony Village, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, kind of flipping, but then they got that 1 in the bottom of the 7th essentially to walk it off and win this game. Friday, April 12th, Pine Island at Triton. I think what happened is Pine Island and Lourdes did like back-to-back games with the Cobras of Triton. So let's start out with Pine Island. Panthers would score 5 in the first inning, and it was 8-0 after 2 innings. Panthers would run away with this one 15-0 after 4 innings. I don't believe I have any stats for that game. Then Lourdes took on Triton. Lourdes scored 8 runs in the second inning, blew this game wide open. 7 Eagles players had multi-hits games. Let's talk about them in a little bit. Lourdes, 14 runs on 17 hits. Bats came alive, 1 error for the Eagles. Triton, 2 runs on 4 hits, and they had 3 errors. In terms of Lourdes, Leah Winicky, 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Amelie Dolman, 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Avery Washniewski, 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 doubles, and a stolen base. Ali Restovich, 2 for 3 with 2 runs, an RBI, a double, a stolen base, and a Winiecki. Jeez, did I spell that wrong? Oh, no, I didn't. Anna, younger sister to Leah, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, RBI, and it's 2 stolen bases. Reagan Rowley, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, a run scored. Taylor Sealhammer, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. You should see how many games I have. I hope I don't spell anybody's name wrong. I hope I don't mispronounce anybody. So doing the best I can. Next up, Goodhue at Bethlehem Academy. Final score in this one, 12-2 in favor of Bethlehem Academy. I don't believe I have stats, but at least we have the results and a couple pictures. Morton Raider here on the mound, and then Lola Christensen behind the plate. It's been doing a great job for the Wildcats this season. Next up, Byron playing at the Woodside Complex. This was the last game of Friday. Nice facilities there in Mauston. First game of 3 for them was against the Antigo Red Robins. Byron out-hit Antigo 8-2, but the Red Robins took advantage of 10 walks and 5 errors by the Bears to win this one 8-6. I think we have the box score here. Yes, we do. Antigo, 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. 8 runs on 2 hits, 3 errors. Byron, 6 runs on 8 hits and 5 errors. Tally Barons, she was 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 runs scored, an RBI, a double, and 2 stolen bases. And how about this? 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 14 strikeouts. She got a lot of work on this weekend in Mauston. Leah Strain, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and a home run. How about that? Max Steele hitting home runs. I know Barron's hit one in Austin, and now Strain adds to that highlight reel that the Bears are putting together. Max Steele, 1 for 2, 2 RBIs, a stolen base, 2 walks. Canes Furstead, 1 for 3, a run scored, a stolen base, and then Ella Brennan, 1 for 4 with a triple. Saturday, Byron had 2 games. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Goodhue was at Southland, and then Kasson-Mantorville, Zumbrota-Mazeppa is the next one we'll be talking about. The last one we'll be talking about, I should say, for episode number 3. Byron, second game taking on Merrill Blue Jays, and the Bears scored in every inning from 1 through 6. They built an 8-2 lead. The Blue Jays scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th, but the Bears were able to hold on to this one 8-6. So Byron not only flipped the script from game 1 in terms of the score 8-6, they just put it in their favor. They also flipped the script in how they won. Bears drew 8 walks and capitalized on 4 Blue Jay errors to get the 2-run victory. Bears 8 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors. Merrill 6 runs on 4 hits and 4 errors. Here's the stat line. Tally Barron's got the win on the mound. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 12 strikeouts with no walks. 12-0 ratio? Are you kidding me? Incredible day for the sophomore. 2 for 3, an RBI, a run scored, and a triple. Ella Brennan, 2 RBIs. Cadence Furstead, 2 runs scored, an RBI. Emma Clark, 2 runs scored for the Bears. The last game that they played in Mauston at the Woodside Complex was against the Whitnall Falcons, and they ended it on a high note, almost like Adele singing some of her songs. The Bears went out on top. They collected 8 hits and a bomb from my girl Cadence Furstead, baby. And she also had 3 RBIs, I believe. Winning this one 7-2 was the final score. Let's get the box score here for you. Oh my goodness. There it is. Whitnall, 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. Byron collected 2 runs in the first, 3 runs in the third, 5 runs in the second. That was 7 runs on 8 hits and 4 errors for the Bears. In terms of stat lines, I said Tally Barron's was getting some work. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs allowed, and 7 strikeouts. Tally Barron's, if you add those 3 games up that they played in Mauston, averaging 11 strikeouts. For the sophomore, she was 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, a stolen base. Cadence Furstead, another great game by the freshman, 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a bomb, like I said. That sweet swinging lefty put one out. Unbelievable home run for her. Leah Strain, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Max Steele, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, and Kayleen Irwin, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Next up, Goodhue was taking on Southland. Final score in this one, 9-2. Each team scored 2 runs in the first, but then it was Southland after that. Goodhue, 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors. Southland, 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors. In terms of Goodhue, Aubrey Christensen pitched 7 innings, had 7 strikeouts, so great job by her. And then Lola Christensen, 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a run score. So how about that for the Wildcats? Christensen's coming through and really delivering some highlights for them. Sierra Kallstrom here, I think she was laying down a bunt on this picture. Awesome little pictures that we can include. Kendra Rader, they're jumping for a fly ball, and then the whole team here on the bench at Southland's home field. Everybody's still happy. Like to see that. Great attitudes from the Wildcats. The last game we need to talk about here in episode 3 was a heavyweight battle between the Zumbrota-Mazeppa Cougars and the Kasson-Mantorville Comets. It was in Zumbrota, and this one was a thriller. Zumbrota-Mazeppa scored a run in the second, third, and fourth to take a 3-0 lead. And then let me tell you what happened, or at least let me show you what happened to take that lead and narrow it up. 5th inning, Andrea Fitch comes up to the plate. The wind is blowing out. I don't know if you can hear it, but it swung on and drove deep. Fitch is going to send this one out, and that's going to make it 3-1 as the Comets cut the lead to just 2. Then we get to the top of the 7th inning, and Richards is up to the plate. Taking advantage of that wind, you can see the flag blowing out, and Callie sends one to the valley. 3-2 now with 2 outs to go, but Cameron Culvers was able to get 2 final ground balls to end the threat. Incredible game here as it was 3-2 in favor of the Cougars. As you see, Kasson-Mantorville 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Zumbrota-Mazeppa 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. In terms of the stat line, Cameron Culvers, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts. She was 1 for 2 at the plate. Megan Jasperson had an incredible day, 2 for 3 with a run scored. Paisley Peterson, it said Paisley. It said Braley in the box score of what I was following, but then Paisley in the newspaper, so I didn't know which one. One of the Peterson girls, though, great last name, 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. Melanie Rash, 1 for 4. In terms of Zumbrota-Mazeppa, Callie Richards, you saw her with the bomb. Cool picture here on the right side, at least right side of my screen. I don't know if it flips it for you guys, but her holding the bat up, ready to go. Probably right before that bomb, she hit 2 for 3 with a double and a solo home run. Emily Olsen, another fantastic day for her on the mound against a Zumbrota-Mazeppa team that last year had 6 batters that batted, I believe, over 400. She had 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and 9 strikeouts, kept the Comets in the game, 1 for 3 with a double at the plate. Andrea Fitch, you saw the senior 1 for 4 with that solo shot. Look at the muscles with her throwing. I kind of want to pull my sleeves down so you can't compare it. She's got some guns. Sun's out, guns out. She launches that one. Abby Simons, 1 for 3 for her. And then Kylie Meyer, 1 for 4. Lake City invite. They had 4 teams in Lake City playing a softball. Essentially 2 teams. I think it was, don't quote me, I think it was Kenyon-Wanamingo against Lake City. Cannon Falls against Chatfield. They played each other. Then the winners played each other in the championship. Losers in the consolation. I believe it was Chatfield, Kenyon-Wanamingo in the championship. Don't quote me. I have 0 results, 0 scores for you on that one, unfortunately. But I do know they played on Saturday. I just don't have anything for you. We get to the final part of this episode. It is the player of the week, and to be honest with you, there could have been so many players. I actually had to name 2 of them because it was just that close. Really, it came down to 3 really outstanding ones. When I was thinking about some of the ones on the list, and I like to do the honorable mentions because they deserve it. Megan Jasperson, Zumbrota-Mazeppa, she was 6 for 9 this week, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Cameron Culver, she had 2 wins on the mound, both complete games. One of those was 1 earned run with 10 strikeouts. The other one, 2 earned runs with 11 strikeouts. Allie Pagel from Cannon Falls, she was 7 for 12 this week in the box. 4 runs scored, a double, 3 RBIs. She also had a great game, 7 innings pitched with 10 strikeouts. Other girls, I know there was only 1 game for Stewartville, but Savannah Dean, 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs and run scored. Sydney Clark, 3 for 3 with an RBI, run scored. 4 innings pitched. She came on in relief, held them in check. No earned runs allowed, 7 strikeouts to help get her a victory, her second one on the season. Lola Christensen, 1 for 3 in her first game, 3 for 3 that last game. Emily Olson, not just getting the win on the mound against, was it Goodhue or Lake City? I can't remember the first game, but she had 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 6 strikeouts. But then the games against Winona and Zumbrota-Mazeppa, 3 earned runs total against 2 of the top teams in the state in 12 innings pitched. Come on, that's fantastic. Callie Richards, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored, home run, a double in her couple games that I saw. But really, when it comes down to it, I got to give the players of the week to the 2 fab freshmen in Byron. The 2 best freshmen probably in the entire conference. You see it here. The sweet swinging lefty, Cadence Firstad, and the best name in the HVL, Max Steele. Here are my girls in terms of the stat line. Look at this. Max Steele, 7 for 14, 10 RBIs, 2 home runs that you saw in that the WITH game of the week against Lourdes. She hit the one in the bottom of the 7th to send it to extra innings, ended up coming in on the mound and getting the win. So 7 for 14, 10 RBIs, 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, a double, 2 wins, and in those wins, she pitched 6 total innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts. Cadence Firstad, hotter than a pistol. The favorite bear of crew that's not named Teddy. That's Cadence right here. 8 for 13, 9 runs scored, 3 RBIs, a double, a triple, a home run, doing a little bit of everything. And I almost feel bad because Tally Barons, you could probably add in there, but they'd probably say, what is it, the Bears of the week? I mean, like, put all Bears in there, but I think you got to give her props too because she went 7 for 12 this week, 7 runs scored, RBI, 6 stolen bases, and a triple. Also, like I said, 3 games at the Mauston Complex, averaging 11 strikeouts. But congratulations to my 2 of my favorite freshmen, Max Steele and Cadence Firstad, right here. The What in the HVL Week 2, Episode 3, players, plural, of the week. So great job to these 2 ladies. Love watching them play as long as they're not playing my Stewartville Tigers. What do we have coming up this next week? Woo! Busy. 2, 4, 6, 7 games on Monday, 4 on Tuesday, 5 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, and then 2, 4, 6, 7 teams are in action. But there's a Rochester Invitational at the Rochester Softball Complex, so I don't know how many total games there might be. I'll do the best I can. We'll see what happens. I think that's going to do it for episode number 3. I appreciate you. I know it's a longer one. We had a lot of games to cover. Hopefully you stayed with me the entire time. For Tom Voth at Goodhue, for Missy Clark in Stewartville, for the Kasson-Mantorville Booster Club, Byron sending me box scores. Everybody that sends those to me, it makes my job so much easier, shining a spotlight on these amazing student athletes in what I think is one of the toughest sports that they can play in high school. I want to say thank you so much for your help. If you're out there and you're with teams like Lake City and Cannon Falls and Lourdes and Pine Island, please, tigernation@gmail.com is the spot you can send any pictures or information or stats my way. Happy to put those in there and try to really shine a spotlight on some of those other teams as best I can. but I run with what I got, and I do appreciate the people that have helped me out, that have sent me messages of support, sent me some little storylines. Really cool for that. Happy to do this. Busy week for us here in Tiger Nation. Stewartville has 4 games, so I will try to be on it as best I can to release the week 3 results, which would be episode 4. We're always one ahead because of the preseason team previews that was in episode 1. If you missed that, you should go back. We went down every team, all the top players to watch for. You're hearing how great some of them are and making me look like I'm a genius, especially our players of the week, Caden's first ed and Max Steele, who I called being the fab freshmen there in Byron. Freshman phenoms is really what we should call them, because they are talented as they come. That's going to do it here. Episode number 3 of What in the HVL? Softball edition is in the books. Until I see you next time, stay safe. A lot of foul balls out there trying to hit you in the face. Cover up if you can, Jenna. Cover up. Hopefully I'll catch you at the fields. Take care, everybody.